Right, welcome to this segment. I'm going to teach you how to get free video games because free is awesome and people want free stuff. This is the site you're going to go to, romnation.net. You can go to other sites too, but this one's pretty straightforward and easy. And then if you want other ROM games, you can, once you start getting the hang of it. Now, some people don't know how to use ROM, so there's several things I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to show you how to download the ROM, how to download the ROM software, or the ROM player, how to download the ROMs, that's the games themselves, and how to use the ROM software and get it configured to where you can play your games on your gamepad or on your keyboard. I don't recommend keyboard. They're really hard to play games that way. Alright, so before we get started, if you want to check out my description there and go to, if you're into drawing, you can go to my drawing website, digitalcanvas.net16.net, and I have a bunch of free videos on there teaching how to draw, how to digitally paint, and how to manipulate photos and stuff. If you're into writing, I have a writing site, masteredit.net2.net or netii.net, and it's there in the description as well. Alright, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is you're going to go, let's say you want to get the NES ROM or the MAME software. Just click on whatever you have, Mac or Windows, whatever. So for the Genesis ROM, just click on Windows here. Brings up this window. Click on Download this emulator. Type in the number. Click Download. Save it to where you want it on your hard drive. This will be the file name. Make sure you remember where you saved it. Go back to ROMs and Games here. So I have mine here. I can open it. Then open the program itself. Opens pretty fast. There it is. Now I'm just go through the basics of what you need to know to start playing games on this thing here. Now, but before I do that, to get games, then you go to, let's say, Sega Genesis ROMs. You can scroll to the top here. I'm going to go to S. You can also search games up here with ROMs, and you can search up here. Scroll down to, let's say, Shinobi 3 or something, which I'm going to be trying here on another video. Oops, I went too far. Anyway, there's Sonic, a lot of Sonic games. Those are fun. Shinobi 3, seems like a pretty cool game. I remember the other Shinobi games are fun. So here's Shinobi 3, Return of the Master Jedi, or the Master Jedi, the Ninja Master. Then you click on it. I can't remember which one of these I got. I think they all work, though. But you just click on it and then do the same thing you did before. Save it to where you need it saved. And remember where you saved it. That way you know where to look for it when you open up this. Then you go to File, Open ROM, and you pick your game. So I have this one saved here, and the other ones that come in folders. Typically that's what they do, is they come in their own folder. And then bam, I open the game. Okay, now another thing that's important that you want to know how to do is not just open and closing, is also like load state and save state. So you go to save state, you save a file, make sure you remember where you save the file. You probably want to save the file in the folder of the game itself so you don't forget. And that way you can always load that state if you want to play the game later. You can also use this quick save and load as well. So let's say you're doing really good on the game. Go ahead and quick save, or hit F5 or go here and quick save. And then if you end up really goofing up and dying, you can go back to that quick save point. That way you still have all your lives and stuff. It is kind of cheating. It does make beating these older games a little bit easier. But it's really just, no one wants to go through the trial and error. If you're good at the game, you're good at the game. You can beat it. If you're not good, you won't beat it, even if you use quick save. It won't make a difference. If you're just not good at a game, you're not going to beat Contra 3. But it does make it a little bit easier that it goes by a lot quicker. You don't have to do trial and error. You don't have to keep playing the same level over and over again because you ran out of continues. Right, but you're not getting infinite continues this way. It's just, just saving. The next thing that's important is sound. You can enable it or unenable it by just clicking it again, and then it will go off. Sometimes I turn it off if I want to listen to a novel or something while I'm playing. You don't have to worry about any of this, but the next important thing is your gamepad. So go to Options, Gamepad. You want to set this up to where, so go to Redefine Keys. On the drop-down menu here, choose the 6 buttons. Most likely that's, since it's Genesis. Then click on Redefine Keys, and all you do is you click on a key, and it has a question mark, then press the button on your joystick. So I press button 10, which is typically where the start is. Let's say X, right? I can have X be number 1, A be number 2, Y 4, and I can just program each of these buttons then click OK. And then this will be up, down, left, right, whatever you want up, down, left, right for. I used the analog stick for that. And voila, it's all set up. So that's really important when you're, for playing the games. You can also use your keyboard. So instead, you can press keys on the keyboard to map what buttons you want each key to do. But I don't recommend playing the keyboard; very difficult. But if you want to try it with the keyboard, go ahead. I would probably use for the left hand ASDW, like first-person shooters, for your up, down, left, right, and then maybe map some of the keys like on the number pad for the buttons, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 for your buttons you're going to be using. But anyway, I don't recommend playing that way. Very difficult. Okay, I want to go really quickly through the SNES ROM because it's a little bit different. Okay, I'm trying to keep this as fast as possible before I don't make too long of a video. I'm going to open up the SNES ROM here, or the SNES software. So this is Super Nintendo, and really everything here is pretty much the same. You got load game, and then you could do a save position. Remember what position you saved what game in. You might want to write little notes on a notepad. That's what I do. So right now I have Contra on save 6, but I already beat it, so I don't need to use that anymore. But just remember what position you save what game in, or write it down like I do. Then when you open the game, you can load it. I wish this was more like the Genesis ROM, or the Genesis software. But hey, that's fine. Okay, so that's pretty much all you really need to know there. And then input here is important. So you want to know how to set up your joypad configuration. And unfortunately, this software just really doesn't do that good of a job. So you might want to search around for a different version of this software. I don't know, but this is the one I got. It's like the default one. And sometimes it's a real pain to set up the joystick. So you click on the thing, then I'm going to click, let's do that again. I'll click up. Then this one I'm going to click left. See, it didn't work. Left, up. Let's go here, down. And see, it didn't want to work. So it just gets goofy like this. And I sometimes I have to actually reboot my system and then open the software again, and then it'll allow me to program the buttons right. It's just kind of a pain to have to do that. So usually I keep it wherever it's at. Once I get it working correctly, I just keep it there. And if I want to play another game where I use dual analog sticks like Smash TV, then I have to go through the whole process again. It's kind of a bummer, but anyway, it's cool. And so that's all you really need to know how to use those two softwares. You can also get this one here. Go ahead and and if you own these games, you have them in your closet, whatever. You just don't want to have to bust out your old systems in your closet. Then this is the way to do it, and it's totally legal as long as you own the original game. So, all right, so I'm going to save this to my games folder here. As you see, they download really fast. Okay, now I'm going to go back here to my folder, and that should be there now. And then I can unzip this to its own folder. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and delete the zip file. Don't need it anymore. All right, and then this is where you'll see where it's at. Then you can open up the software. Go ahead and allow it to bypass your firewall if you have one. Now, once you download ROMs and put them in, your games folder, then you'll go to Available, and you'll see the games that are available. You can also go to All Games and scroll through it that way. You can also go through clones of games if you have them. Obviously, I don't have them, so they're brown. But if they were available, if I had any main games, and I'll go and download one really quick to show you. All right, so I'm out of time. Please check back for that first time playing Shinobi 3. I'm going to go ahead and make that video here in a second. So that's it. I'm out of time. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. And I don't recommend getting this. I was going to show how to use it, but this one's kind of difficult to use, and you have to do a lot of programming to get your gamepad to work right. So if you want to spend the time to do it, you can. But I mean, the SNES Genesis really have all the games you need. I think you can play most MAME ROMs on this anyway, or most games are on both. So I wouldn't worry about it. All right, so that's it. Get to playing games.